Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a small treehouse. Now, this isn't the kind of treehouse that somebody would actually live in. This is more the kind of treehouse that you'd have as a kid, in your back garden. Well, I never had one, mainly because we never had any trees in my back garden, but I can still dream. I still wanted one. And by the way, this would look best behind or in front of or in the garden of a suburban house. And if you don't have a suburban house like the one that I have on the screen right in front of you, good news, all you have to do is check out either the card system or the description below and you can find a link which will take you to a video that will show you how to make one. It will probably take you somewhere around the half-an-hour mark, and there's also going to be a tutorial that will show you how to do the inside and outside of said house as well. It'll look exactly like this one if you follow those videos and you finish it, and it'll look quite nice. But that's more than enough talking, guys. Remember, that's the card system in the description below. Let's talk about this treehouse. So to make it, we're going to need quite a few things. We'll need some oak wood, we'll need some spruce wood, we'll want some oak wood planks, we'll need some stonebrick stairs, we'll need some stone slabs, we'll also need some white stained glass, we might also need some oak wood slabs, we'll definitely need stone slabs, and everything else we can kind of grab later on, because I think that you know what, we'll also grab a door as well. Why not grab a door? So once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm actually going to be making it in the back garden of this beautiful Suburban House 7 on the channel, and once you have figured out where you want to make it, you know what, I'm actually going to make it just a little bit further back here because I don't want it to interact with the house at all. So we're going to kick off the tree house with a row of 8 oak wood coming directly up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to take this 8th block and we want to do 2 oak wood slabs directly in front of it. Then we want to do a layer of 3 oak wood slabs on the left of that and on the right of that to give us the platform for our house. We then want to do a layer of stone slabs on the side of our little layer of oak wood slabs here. So we want to have something which should look like this. What we then want to do is we want to take this very front left-hand corner where we have this stone slab and we want to go up on top of it by 3 with the spruce wood. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 upper right diagonals with the spruce. That's 1 and 2. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. That's 1 and that will be 2. Then go down by 2. 1, 2 to give you something which should look like this. And what we can then do is we can then take this very top of the house, this very top center spruce block, and we can extend it backwards by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do 2 bottom left diagonals from that. That's 1, 2, then go down from the diagonal by 2, 1, 2, and we can do 2 bottom right diagonals from that. That'll be 1 and that'll be 2, and then we can go down by 2. That's 1 and 2 to give you something which should look like that. And that's about as big as the actual house is. It's not very big at all. And now just to make the rest of the platform that the actual treehouse is going to sit on, because I think that'll be easiest to do first, we want to take this very front left-hand corner stone slab block and we want to extend it in front of the house by 2. That's 1, 2. We then want to extend it to the right by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we want to extend it backwards by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend it to the right by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it connects it all the way to the front of where we started. So we want to have a square of slab like this, and then we can just fill in this area with oak wood slabs. It will take a second or two, but we want to fill this area in with slabs. So we'll just fill this bottom part in here, and then we can just fill this left hand side, or I suppose it's the right hand side, just because of the perspective, it's the right hand side here. So this is actually where the tree house is going to sit, and this is where all of the borders going to be and everything like that. So let's take care of the actual tree house and then we'll take care of the tree, because of course the tree house is quite important for this. So on the front of the tree house and the back of the tree house, it's very similar. You want to do this. So you want to, starting from the bottom left hand side of this empty space on the front, we want to do 2 oak wood planks coming up. We want to do an upright diagonal, followed by a bottom right diagonal, connect down to the ground. Place a door inside of those 2 empty spaces and then place glass all the way around the top, like that. On the back, you want to have the same thing, so it's 2 oak wood planks starting from the left, coming up to the top here, then do an upright diagonal, bottom right diagonal, connect down, except on the back part here, we don't have a door, we simply have glass, so it'll end up looking a little something like this. Now, for both sides, both of the sides are not access points, we want to have something which will look a little bit like this. It's kind of difficult to explain, but can you see, starting from the bottom left-hand side here, we want to place a plank, do an upright diagonal, bottom right diagonal, we want to have a plank here and here. It kind of just looks like a cross shape like this. Not that it matters, because the roof is actually going to cover up most of it. But that's how both of the sides look like. That's the plus shape on this side, and we want to have the same thing here. So here in the corners, one in the center, here, and there we go. So it's an X, or if you kind of look at the glass is a plus. Obviously, actually, it's kind of like noughts and crosses. Noughts with the glass and crosses with the oak wood planks, actually. So that's how the little house looks. And just to actually put a roof on it, we want to use our stone brick stairs on these sides, just right at the top. That's why it doesn't matter that we actually did that. And that was the design of the actual like house, but it didn't really matter that we did that. It does look a little nicer on the inside though. So we want to place a layer of stone brick stairs basically coming up both sides. So obviously we only have to do 3 layers starting from the very top side, so we just have to have 3 layers like this. Then we want to add an additional layer of stairs at the top here. We want to add an additional layers of the stairs just extending over the front like this. Then we want to place upside down stone brick stairs underneath the overhang layer of stairs, so that's the front. And then coming to the back, we want to have the overhang layers of stairs as well. And of course, we're also going to place upside down stone brick stairs below the roof, so it's just going to be upside down like this, and then we just want an upside down stone brick stairs right at the top there facing towards us, and then we just want to add a layer of stone brick slabs right at the top. And that is how the tree house looks. It looks very, very simple, doesn't it? And it's very, very simple, very easy to make tree house, but it's what we're going to be doing next that will really make the tree house look amazing. So we can actually, I think, dump all of our materials. I don't think we'll need too many more of them, and we can grab ourselves, just to finish off the treehouse bit, we can grab ourselves some dark oak wood fence, and we can also grab ourselves some ladders. So do dark oak wood fence going all the way around the top of the treehouse, and we just want to have the fence going all the way around the top of the slabs, and that will just make sure that nobody falls off, and it also adds an extra colour and it makes it look a little bit nicer. The ladders are going to go all the way from the bottom of the tree, and they're going to break into the top here, and it's going to allow us access to the actual treehouse part here. So it's going to allow us access, and that's actually a bit of a design flaw, isn't it? That's a little bit silly of us, because we now cannot actually maneuver around the treehouse. Maybe we could have an access point. Maybe, you know what, it doesn't even matter, because what we can do quite easily is we can now just take our oak wood, we can add an additional layer of oak wood directly behind that first layer, we can destroy this, and then we can once again break into the top of the treehouse. It's just that where we just had it positioned then, it's just that we couldn't make our way to the door. So we've just added a layer of oak wood directly behind it, and we want the access point, and we will need some oak wood planks just to... Oh, those are jungle wood. We will need some oak wood planks just so that we can... There we go, fill that hole there. Can you see what the problem was? We couldn't actually make it to the door. We want the access point to be right here. And inside this little tree house here, we're going to have a bed, we're going to have a chest, we're going to have a furnace, and we're going to have a crafting table. On the left-hand side here, we're going to have a bed. On the right-hand side, we're going to have a double chest. We're going to have a crafting table right at the end here, and we're also going to have a furnace right here as well. So that's kind of like how the room is set up, and I don't know, I kind of like it. It's very, very cozy. Very cozy, the phone should face this way, very cozy, but you can maneuver your way around if you're motivated. As a matter of fact, you know what, that actually make it a little bit easier here is if we had, like, let's say this sort of setup, like if we had like a crafting table here, or maybe, no, a chest here. we had a crafting table here, a furnace here, and that's a little bit of a better setup. And if you wanted to go a little bit crazy, if you felt the need for it, you could also place some carpet here. And if you wanted to customize a treehouse furthermore, you could add like item frames and stuff into the treehouse, and you could I don't know, you could add some fun stuff in here just to make it look a little bit more homey, just to make it look a little bit nicer. You might want to add that. I don't know what you might want to add to each one of the individual sections here, but you might just want to have like swords and bottles of enchanting and like, I don't know, just random things and item frames just to lighten the place up a little bit. And if you did want to, you could also add some torches to the inside as well. I'm just going to add some on the front and the back, and that'll light the treehouse up a little bit. And that's the actual house part of the treehouse taken care of now. That is everything upstairs. That's the ladders. That is the actual tree part of the house, or the actual house part of the treehouse, I should say. And now it's time for us to make this look spectacular. So what we're now going to do is grab ourselves some oak wood. We're also going to grab some oak saplings. We're also going to grab some bone meal, if I can ever find the bone meal. Here it is. And now it's time for us to go to work. So, we now have to make this thing look like a tree. We have to make it look spectacular. And I'm actually going to save this before I start this, because this can be a delicate process. I would recommend saving the game before you start this, because of course bone meal and tree growing is a little bit random. So save it, just to make sure that you can go back if you don't like it. So, we're now just going to make the tree look a bit more robust. And to do that, we're just going to add a layer of oak wood left and right of the treehouse. So we're just going to add a layer of oak wood like left and right of the of how you'd actually go up to the treehouse. And we're also going to extend this left-hand part of the treehouse just towards us. We're going to extend it towards us by one layer, and we're going to try and have the wood face that way. We're also going to take this very bottom right-hand layer of oak wood that we placed. We're going to extend this block towards us by one, do an outward diagonal with the oak wood just to make it look a little bit more like a tree trunk. We're also going to do something similar on the back. We can just kind of like add like a layer of oak wood back here just to make it look a little bit more tree-like, and then here, just to randomize it a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more like a trunk. And you might also have to grab some like dark oak wood slabs here, and you might just want to add some just on top. Oh, we can't use dark oak wood slabs, of course we can't, but we can use oak wood slabs, and we can just place these on top of the oak wood here, and that makes it look a little bit more like a foundation anyway. And if you wanted to, you could just place it like that so it's all nice and even, but a lot of this is going to be covered up by the branches anyway. We're now going to take out our oak wood. I'm just going to place one there. I'm going to take out our oak wood, and we're just going to like make a couple of random looking branches around the tree, just randomize it a little bit, because it doesn't matter that much. It's just where we want to have some of the trees growing from. So you can see that we've placed one there. We're going to place one on the other side here. We're just going to have kind of like a bit of a random branch here. And it can come as far out as you want, or not very far out at all. We're going to add one on the back here, like this. I think that that's actually fine on the back there. And now we have like 3 random branches. This is how we're going to start building this. We're going to need some dirt. We're going to start off by placing a sapling like right at the bottom in the tree here, and that one might not grow. We're also going to place one like right here. We're going to place another sapling here, see if that one grows, and we can place one behind the tree as well. So let's start growing some of these saplings if they'll grow. So that one has grown. That's quite good. It's built into the tree. That's why some of these branches don't matter. And then let's see if this one will grow. Not all of them will grow. Not every single one of them will grow. Like, try one block to the right. If they won't grow, perfect. That one grew, and it's kind of like enveloping into the tree a little bit. This middle one probably won't grow. This one, will it grow? Probably won't grow, but this front one should. So, oh, that one didn't. So let's move it 1 block to the left, see if that one grows. No. Move it here, and that will grow. Yeah, perfect. So, that grew. That's pretty good. So now we have a nice little base. We have a nice little foundation for the tree. I quite like that, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to save it, because if I don't like this next part, I want to be able to undo and come back to this part, because it is quite random, as you can see. What I'm now going to do is place a dirt here with a sapling on top of it. On top of this branch, I'm going to place a dirt here with a sapling on top of it, and I'm going to place a dirt here with a sapling on top of it. Or maybe even closer to the tree, maybe like here, and here. Let's grow these. So we're going to add bone meal to this. This one won't grow, so perhaps we have to add a sapling here, and we're going to add some bone meal. Perfect, that one grew. And we now have a little bit of a tree next to our tree. And I'll tell you what, I think that that looks a little bit lonely by itself, so I'm going to add an additional dirt here, and I'm going to add another sapling, and hopefully this should also grow. Are we going to grow? Can we grow here? We can, can't we? How about we move one block outwards and see if it will grow? All of these that don't grow... Oh, there we go. I don't think that that looks too badly at all. What we can also do is... You know what, we'll talk about that a bit later, but I would like a little bit more tree. I'd like a little bit more, just here maybe. So let's grow this sapling, and... Now you see that is a little much. That is a little bit much. That's a little way too much tree. So I'm going to reverse the process by exiting, and I'll come back in a second. So as you can see, things don't always go to plan with this. This is why we saved, and this is why I'm not trying to be as precise with these instructions, because the nature of this is quite random. So we're going to start on the right hand side now. We're growing a sapling on the right. I quite like that. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to grow a sapling on the back. I think I'm going to space them out evenly and then save it once I've got something that I quite like. That's a big one. How does that look from the back? That doesn't look too badly at all. I don't mind that. And then right on the end here, why don't we place a sapling and we place some bone meal? And really, this is all subjective. This is all subjective. I think that it's actually shaping up to be quite nice here. So I'm going to save this, and now I'm going to add more. So the idea is you simply just keep adding more and more saplings until you're eventually happy with the result. That's all you're doing. You just want yourself to be happy. It's not whether, you know, maybe you thought like a previous iteration of the tree actually looked quite good. Oh, I like that. The tree's actually building into the house. I quite like that a bit. Maybe I'm not going to save that because I'd like to keep that. Maybe you liked a previous iteration of this tree, you know, like when it got all crazy at the back there. Maybe you were into that. Maybe you really liked that. That's completely up to you. Oh, that grew. Oh, what are you looking like? Hey, that's not too bad. I'll tell you what, and something that you can do, in case it isn't obvious, you can trim the tree. You can definitely trim the tree. You can take parts off that you don't like. So I'm just going to trim this, and I think that that'll actually look quite good. I do want the tree to be I do want the house to be kind of like semi-concealed. So you can see, I kind of like that. I quite like that a little bit. And I'm also going to, where I need to, I'm going to destroy the dirt, and I'm going to add extra oak wood in, and we're just going to, where necessary, we're just going to make it look as if it actually makes sense. So we'll add extra wood in, just to make sure that there's no like floating parts of the tree or anything. That looks fine to me. And then we'll destroy all of the dirt that we have here, and we can extend. So just to make sure that none of the branches are floating around, we're going to have something which should look like that. And honestly, I kind of like that. It's a little bit messy. We might want another one at the back. Maybe we want another tree, maybe a little higher up this time. So why don't we try a sapling here in this position? Grow for me. Or maybe to the left. I actually think maybe one block down, and maybe it doesn't want to grow because it's a little too close to the bottom of the tree. Okay, maybe here now. So is that the same place? I think I just tried to grow it in the same place. So how about here? How about here? Will you grow? Can I get rid of all of this for you? Will that make you happy, a tree sapling? Come on. Grow. It does not want to grow for me. That's a real shame. That's a real shame. I'd like it to. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, whoa, that's actually kind of big. And let's have a look at it from the front, because that's what we're going for. That looks a little... It looks a little bit barren back there. That's my only problem. Like, I wish that the trees would grow a little bit bigger here and a little bit bigger here. And again, this is all subjective. Oh, there we go. So this might look a little bit better. This is all subjective. Maybe you like it. Maybe you like it like that. Maybe you don't want as much tree around. But there we go. I like that quite a bit. There we go. I like that a lot. So that is what I'm after. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to place a little bit of bone meal just around the base of the treehouse. Just going all the way around. Let's destroy this, and let's make this look as though it's these are branches. There we go. I'm just going to place a little bit of bone meal around the base of the house, getting some nice, lovely tulips around here. That's great. And I don't know, I think that looks quite nice. Obviously, you might want to prune the area that is not inside of your garden, but that's how the treehouse is supposed to look. Why don't we take off our flight, and why don't we actually have a look at this thing, because this is now 100% done, guys. So, let's imagine that you're a kid, you're on the front of the house, you've just came home from school, and you want to go into your very own space. You want to be all alone. You want to be in your very own secret fort, your treehouse. You come to the back garden and you see this massive structure. Doesn't this look fantastic? A massive overgrown tree, loads of branches, loads of leaves, and you climb all the way up to the tippity top here. You climb up to the top and you have a bed. You can even sleep out here. You can camp out here if you want to. You have a furnace. You can cook food. You have a crafting table. You can make whatever you want. Maybe you want to make a slingshot or something. You've got a nice little bit of storage space. You can walk out onto the little terrace of your treehouse, and you can look into the windows. You can see what your family's up to. You can spy on them as they're eating their tea or whatever, and you can walk around your treehouse. You're surrounded by trees. You feel safe. You feel concealed up here, and that's kind of like the feeling that I'm after with this treehouse. I really like this. I think that it's an absolutely fantastic little build, and I think that it goes perfectly with suburban style houses. I mean, can we see it from the back? I mean, you can just see, you can just kind of like see it poking out at the back, and I think that it definitely intrigues you a little bit. You see that and it's like, hey, what is that back there? It separates like a suburban house from all of the others. Let me show you the original design of this treehouse, because I think that I got it perfect on the original. Hang on. You know what, I'm not sure whether I like this more or less than the treehouse that I have over there, but you can see the very random nature of these things. Very difficult to actually get right. So that's why you have to save the game frequently. You have to make sure that it's exactly what you want before you save, and you've just got to keep trying and trying and trying. It will take a long time to do, but you can, if you want, use the wood, and you can use the individual leaves if you want, but I think the bone meal gives a much more random, much cooler effect. Well, hopefully you guys really like this. I absolutely love this. Not only is it a really cool thing that you could kind of like come across in a random survival world, maybe this is just a nice little night fortress, like if you just have a couple of these planted around your survival world. Maybe it's not exactly like a survival house, but it's definitely a nice little place that you can rest your legs for a while. But it definitely looks excellent with suburban style houses. It is absolutely an accessory that can be added to a suburban style house and look absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you might want to prune around the areas and make it look as though it actually fits in there a little bit more. Plus, you might not have all of this grass here like around the bottom of the tree if it's an actual like suburban house. Maybe it's a little bit tidier, but you guys get the point. Very cool thing to add to one of your houses, and it definitely makes a massive amount of difference. Takes the house up to another level, if you ask me. Hopefully you guys like this. If you did like this video, please give it a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. Tree houses are hard to make, and they're hard to design, and they're hard to tutorial, so I'd really appreciate a like, a favorite, or a share, or all of the three. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the channel. We do loads of stuff around here. If you can't see to the left of me, we have an ice cream van, we have Black Panther, we have a Spider-Man house, we have a prison in the background. Up there is the beginnings of a fire station, and there's a shark house right over there in that right hand corner. We work on a lot of stuff around here. I take a lot of requests. Comment down below, let me know what you want me to make next. Very interested. Did you like the treehouse? Do you want to see some more stuff? Would you like to see a bigger version of this treehouse and a house that you could actually live in, like a survival treehouse? Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the card system, and I'll see you guys in the next video.